Looking at Cimo with no facial hair is very bizarre. Welcome to RogueDuelist TV, where we talk all things Yu-Gi-Oh! And as you guys know, if you've been following this channel, we started a new series which is Top Yu-Gi-Tubers Then and Now. On our last episode, we covered Sam from Team Samurai, and today we have a very exciting episode because we're going to be going over the one and only Cimo, and that is with 8 O's. So Cimo's been around for I think about 6 years now, and he is definitely one of the top in terms of subscribers. And honestly, his content has been extremely essential for me when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I still enjoy his content a lot today. Some of the main reasons is just really getting to understand the current meta. So I wanted to become more competitive, so I started watching a lot of his videos on meta analysis to kind of know what you're going against.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the breakdown of the overall participants, 100 to be exact.
And also watching a lot of his videos on tech choices.
First up is Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom can just hit so many different cards in the game, it is absurd.
That was probably some of the most helpful videos that I've ever had from him, at least in my early beginnings of getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So Cimo, if you ever watch this, man, thanks for all the great content that you put out. And also, Cimo puts together some of the best like Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube content out there in terms of series. He's done deck building competitions.
Now, if you're new to this series, what we do is we take a different stipulation on deck building in each individual episode.
But one of probably the best series that he's put together, which is actually recently, which is with Nim Nim, is the progression series.
In this series, both Nim Nim and myself will be opening 24 booster packs or one box.
And he just makes a lot of very engaging and enjoyable content in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go ahead and subscribe right now to RogueDuelist TV. Hit the thumbs up button down below. That way we can help grow this channel together. But without further ado, guys, let's jump right into Cimo's early beginnings on YouTube. All right, so just going and starting off here, this is very funny. This is hilarious. Looking at Cimo with no facial hair is very bizarre. He looks like, I don't know, maybe he's like, he could be in college or something like that. He looks like a kid here. He looks like he could be 16 years old, but he's probably like in his 20s maybe he's like 18. But getting a thumbs up from Cimo at the very beginning, it's a good way to start. So this is his very first video. It says Yu-Gi-Oh! Tech Tuesday Neo-Spacian Grand Mole, April 22nd, 2014. I don't know if maybe he deleted his videos. If not, if this was truly one of his first videos, he's already got a very strong topic for a YouTube video. I already have an idea of what I'm gonna be seeing. He's off to a very good start, especially in early beginnings. He definitely knew what he was doing.
Welcome to Tech Tuesday.
That intro is hilarious. It's gotten a little bit better over time. He's technically kept the same type of intro as he's had from the very beginning, so that's kind of cool. Let's keep watching.
Weekly series where we talk about some awesome tech cards as well as help make you a better player. This week's card is Neo-Spacian Grand Mole. For those of you who don't know, Neo-Spacian Grand Mole has an ability where when he attacks...
So started off in the very beginning, kind of explaining what he's going to be going into to help make you a better player through some of these tech choices that I'm going to be going over. And he's already got like, you know, imagery popping up on the screen. He's starting off very strong. Very, very strong start as a Yu-Gi tuber. So you can definitely see why he's become successful, because there's people out there that make Yu-Gi-Oh videos right now, and I would say it's not even as good as this, and this is his first video. So if this was his starting point, then you could only grow from here.
An opposing monster, he has the ability to send that monster as well as himself back to both players' respective hands. Now this is good because he can get around cards that protect themselves from being targeted or destroyed by card effects. Now let's look at some of the best applications.
Interesting, he's basically talked about why Neo-Spacian Grand Mole is good. He doesn't target, he can bounce cards off the field. Cool.
Grand Mole. Gear Gias are one of the best decks of the format right now.
I have no idea what this archetype even is. Been away from Yu-Gi-Oh too long.
Huge 1900 fat ass you think wouldn't be that big of a problem, but he is. And every time he gets flipped up, your opponent's going plus. Well, with Grand Mole, go ahead and ram right into him because he's going to go back to your opponent's hand. Grand Mole comes back to yours, and your opponent doesn't go plus on their next turn. Mermails of Miss Linde. Everyone loves this. Well,
how do you really feel about this card, Cimo? He's a little more colorful, I'd say. I definitely hear Cimo curse and stuff every so often in his videos, but right off the start, hey, he's being successful. I like that he's going over different examples of how Neospatian Grand Mole can be effective. So he started with the Geargia archetype, whatever that was. Now he's going over mermails. He definitely has kind of like a storyline. He's already kind of pre-prepared. He knows what he's talking about. He's doing a very good job.
Grand Mole, go ahead and attack right into Linde and bounce that right back to your opponent's hand. Grand Mole's also good against Boojin.
What's going on,
Not
Cimo?
only does he get around both Hare and Turtle, but he also doesn't care about Crane because there's no battle damage calculated when Grand Mole attacks.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and ram Grand Mole right into Yamato. Doesn't matter if they have Kaiser Coliseum because he's one monster. And then in your main phase 2, go ahead and special summon your Light Boy. And what
All right, this is a very good video. And again, it's only 3 minutes long. He's actually editing the video where he's cutting in between, kind of cutting out dead space. I don't know, this is very good. I would actually enjoy a video like this today. I mean, obviously, his video quality is not nearly as high, but in terms of content, his content was actually very good. This is Cimo quality content from the very beginning. This is one of his very first Banlist prediction videos, at least that I could find. And when I saw the thumbnail, it looked hilarious because he was like sitting on a porch or something like that in an apartment complex. So let's go ahead and look at this and let's see what he's got to say for Banlist predictions.
Cimo! What's going on, guys? It's Cimo, and today I thought I'd bring to you my Banlist prediction video. This is a little bit late now that the OCG Banlist already came out. There are some similarities, so some people are going to think I stole right from it. I just never got a chance to get around to make this video. And what a better place to bring it than from the great outdoors. You know, it might not be as nice as Nim Nim's with all of his foliage and his babbling brooks and all that, but you know what? I live in the desert, so foliage and water doesn't exist where I live. But let's just get right into it.
Okay, I was hoping he was going to talk about like him being outside because otherwise it just kind of makes the video kind of weird. But he kind of made it lighthearted. He kind of added a little joke to it. He mentioned Nim Nim. Obviously, we're going to have to do Nim Nim on this channel as well. So far, so good. It's still kind of funny that he's outside because it's completely outside the normal element of a Cimo video. But again, I kind of like that he's trying to change it up and he's kind of being comical. Let's go ahead and keep watching.
So, to start off with forbidden cards, I have none because I actually don't think anything right now is ban-worthy. Everything is pretty good in the game right now.
Interesting.
Then
I feel like it's rarely
limited
like
cards,
that
I'm
in the
gonna start
format
with
since I've started.
Artifact Moral Attack. Now, I think
Okay, so
Moral
artifacts
Attack
are a
is the
thing.
bigger problem with artifacts because Sanctum always goes for Moral Attack, and Moral Attack is
like
what's always
dogs
top
barking in the
cards. And
background.
so if you limit Sanctum, you've basically killed artifacts in general. But if you limit Moral Attack, artifacts can still be a deck. They just can't be like...
I had no idea that Artifacts was actually a deck. It was actually a deck at one point. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. It's very good. It reminds me of Cimo today. It feels like, honestly, it hasn't changed too much in terms of the type of content that he's been able to bring out in terms of kind of like meta-analysis, his tech card choice discussion. Real quick, I wanted to watch this video before we jump into one of his latest videos, and it's his channel update 1,000 subscribers. It's crazy because he's at, what, 235,000 subscribers right now. So like 234,000 subscribers later, I want to see just kind of his response and just his mindset at that time of gaining 1,000 subscribers. And again, he did it in 7 months.
Cimo! What's going on, guys? It's Cimo, and contrary to popular belief, grass actually does grow out here in the desert. So,
He's always
today I
mentioning
wanted to
the
bring
desert
you
when
guys
he's
a little
outside.
update video for the channel because I've been kind of absent for the past week, and I figured it'd be a good idea to catch everyone up to speed on everything. So, I've been absent for the last week, mainly because school has been kicking my ass. You know, there's only 4 weeks left in the semester, and this is when usually all
Imagine he's
your
in
exams and
college.
projects start piling up on top of each other, and it's just a complete and utter cluster. So, that's where I've been, and that's why I haven't had time to really produce anything
Colorful
for the channel.
Cimo. Colorful
However,
Cimo.
I have now a 6-day weekend, so I have more than enough time to produce all the content I want for you guys. Firstly, we managed to hit 1,000 subscribers. Like, holy shit. Like, 1K. I never thought we would ever come this far, so... all I can say is
235,000 subscribers later, I mean 1,000. I'm sure he was pretty blown away then, but man, he's grown leaps and bounds since then. Let's keep going.
thank you guys all so much. I mean, it really means a lot. I mean, your guys' support is what keeps me going to produce this awesome
I'm
content
gonna like
for you
this
guys.
video for him. I'm gonna give
So
him a
thank
like.
you. I really mean that. Third and final thing is that there was no Tech Tuesday this week, as you guys obviously could tell. Apologize
Where's Tech
for that.
Tuesday,
I know that's the
Cimo?
one
Bring
thing
Tech
I usually
Tuesdays
try to
back.
keep as consistent
Bring
as
it back,
possible.
Cimo.
But obviously I didn't have enough time to do that this week. So don't worry, it's going to be all good this upcoming week. I already have it all scheduled and everything. So
he's just giving an update to the channel. Very cool. He had 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, it was probably a very exciting time for him. Before we get to his latest video, I wanted to go to his most popular video on YouTube. This video hit 1.1 million views. And I actually think this might be the first video I ever saw of Cimo's. And this is his 70,000 subscribers special, which is about 4 years later. So it took him about 4 years, hit 70,000 subscribers, and you can see how that multiplier effect happened because he was at 70,000. 2 years later, now he's at 235,000. So he's grown leaps and bounds again. So let's go ahead and see just the first few minutes of this.
Cimo! No good?
look up, like when you're doing it. Like,
Cimo!
Okay, so first off, his grandfather has to be like the sweetest old man I've ever seen. The guy looks like he's an angel. He's already kind of growing into the Cimo that we know. His beard is a little wild and crazy. He's definitely a little more tapered now than he was then. His hair is definitely a lot higher than it is now. But this is awesome. I could definitely see why people would want to watch this video. This has to be like the sweetest old man I've ever seen. So let's keep going.
What's going on, guys? It's Cimo, and today I have an extraordinarily special video today that I've been waiting to do for quite some time. We have a bit of a guest with us on the show today, and this is my grandpa. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Gene Plonsky, Mishawaka, Indiana, which is about 6 miles east of South Bend and 90 miles east of Chicago, Illinois.
We're going to be doing something
This guy, he's the sweetest old man I've ever seen.
a lot of fun today. So we just recently hit
Look at his smile, he's
70,000
a sweetheart.
subscribers
Okay.
on the channel. Do you know what a subscriber is?
I think I do.
What's a subscriber?
Somebody that listens to you and makes your show bigger.
Okay, yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. So what I wanted to do for you guys is I was teasing that he was going to be coming into town, and I wanted to do something a little bit fun. So we're going to play a game that you're probably familiar with because it's probably as old as you. The Price is Right. You've heard of that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how does that game work?
It's just a lot of fun.
That was a bit of a low blow there, Cimo. It's about as old as you. I mean, I got to show some respect to your elders there, sorry.
The people participating act very crazy, something like Al here, maybe worse. But anyway, it's a good show.
So, okay, so before we start this,
Oh
how
my
much?
God.
Okay, what do you know
This
about
guy.
Yu-Gi-Oh? For the people who don't know you personally.
I know when you were about 3 or 4 years old, you started buying cards, and you just bought them by the dozen. And one time we counted how many you had, and you had over 50 cards that were not considered good. And
Just
it was-
50?
Well, that's 50 you didn't like at all. But you had a lot more than that. You had a couple hundred cards. The bad ones you threw in a box, and I think you got rid of them.
Sounds about right. But you are familiar with cards in general because, frankly, I mean, you're the one who taught me to play cards when I was like 1 or 2 years old. So.
Maybe cards, but not Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So I'm not very...
But you're a big card player, though. not like normal cards, like 52
Oh,
card
God.
deck cards.
Right, 52
This
deck.
man is
we
hilarious.
played
Like what game? What card games do you play?
Now?
Yes, now.
Poker. We play twice a week. Our stakes got bigger.
All right, so this was definitely a very fun episode. Cimo's kind of growing to his look that he has now. I believe this is like the same bedroom that he records his current videos that he does today in 2020. I would say he's definitely at about where he's at now from my perspective, but why don't we go ahead and confirm that and look at his new videos. You can actually see immediately, you can see some of this played. His video quality has gone up. I can tell that there's definitely a lot more clarity. He's a lot more tapered, as we discussed. His hair is not as high as it was, but let's go ahead and watch this.
Cimo! What's going on, guys? It's Cimo. So today I'm bringing to you my...
I noticed Cimo got this fancy microphone. You guys might see me randomly have this like really nice microphone just hanging right in front of my face, probably in the next video. And if you do see that, it's because of him, all right? Because it looks pretty slick. Let's keep watching.
Top 5 meta decks for the October 2020 format. We just had the conclusion of the Luxury Championship Series number 6, and frankly, this is probably going to be
Top
the only
5
big
meta
tournament
decks.
we have this month. There are going to be some other people
I always
maybe
like watching
trying to
these
throw
videos,
tournaments,
too.
but you know, that's
It's
kind of
always
just
nice
the
to get his
reality of
perspective.
COVID Yu-Gi-Oh! There really isn't many major tournaments occurring. However, the big piece of information to take away from this video is that this is kind of going to set the trend for at least how the meta is going to evolve throughout the month, because now that we have a good gamut of good players that played against one another, bringing what they thought to the table was the best deck of the format, we're going to be able to take those trends and kind of analyze them moving forward as we go deeper into the month. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So kicking things off with number 5, I actually have a very interesting pick because I think this slot is very up for debate at the moment because there are other decks that are really fighting for it, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Eldritch. Now the reason I say that is because first off, looking at the LCS 6 results, Eldritch did have one spot in the top 16. Now obviously
I'm actually
you can't
surprised
really have
to
that
see
sort of
Eldritch is at the
results-oriented
bottom of this
thinking,
list.
but the reason for this too is because if you look at the data over on YGeoScope, it actually shows that Eldritch has about a 57 to 58% win rate at the moment in ranked competitive matches.
I'd like to know where he
And
gets
so
this information.
when
Do you
look at that
guys
in
know
totality
where you
compared
can
to
get
some of
this
the other decks, it's actually
information
performing
as their
rather
win rates
well,
for some
even
of
though
these
it doesn't
cards
have
in
the highest
in the online format?
representation of all the other decks. There's definitely other decks that are being played at a higher frequency than Eldritch, especially since, you know, Jet Synchron got hit, Mecha Fan Beast
I
Online.
think we're going to stop there. I think we've seen enough to compare to Cimo's earlier videos to now. I would say that he's really stayed true to his content and the type of content that he provides. When he came into the Yu-Gi tubing scene, he kind of came as somebody that really discussed the meta, somebody that really understands the game. As his grandpa said, he's been playing the game since he was 3 to 4 years old. So he has a really good understanding of the game and of the current format, and that's really his niche in my perspective. He does a very good job in producing that type of content, such as top meta decks, Banlist predictions based on the meta, tech card choices, and he stayed true to that ever since 2014 all the way up to 2020. Now, I would say one other thing that he thrives in, and we're not going to go over one of those videos today just because of time, is a lot of the series that he does. So he does kind of like YouTuber tournaments. He has started the Progression series, which probably is one of the most successful Yu-Gi-Oh series on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen that, go check out the Progression series. But man, I would say, man, starting out, Cimo was probably at like a 5 or something like that. I mean, he had some very good content. It was concise. He edited it down. He had imagery popping up. He had topics going in all of his videos. And then now I would say it's kind of almost the same, except his quality's gotten a lot higher. His videos are even better than they were before. So I would say that maybe he went from, I think, what did I say, like a 4 or a 5? And I would say he's probably like in 9 or something like that. In terms of how much he's changed from the beginning, I would say he's one of the best Yu-Gi tubers in terms of covering the meta and the changes in the meta and how you kind of have to adapt to the meta. And also, again, in the series that he produces, he just does a very good job. But guys, that's gonna end it for this video. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think of Cimo's then and now and the changes and growth that he's had in his channel? And also let me know down in the comments below, what Yu-Gi tubers would you like me to cover next? So I've already had people tell me they would like me to cover John from House of Champs, Cali Effect. Let me know if there's anybody else down in the comments below that you would like me to cover in this series. Again, guys, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you want to help the YouTube algorithm and help grow this channel, like this video by hitting the thumbs up button down below. All right, guys, I'm going to channel my inner Cimo to close out this video. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.